everyone, and welcome to my Postpartum Recovery Series. If you've already watched this intro and you know how to go through this, just skip ahead to the exercise part and get started with those. Otherwise, stick around because I have some important information to share so you can get the most out of these videos and out of these exercises. So let me explain to you what you'll get by going through this series. The goal is to help you regain awareness, functionality, and strength in your pelvic floor and your deep core muscles. And we do that by working progressively. So there are 7 parts in this series, and you really want to be mastering the exercises in part 1, making sure you feel confident with them, making sure you have noticed some progress in your body before moving on to part 2 and working like this all the way through part 7. So it's really important to take your time while you go through this series. If you ever notice some bulging or coning, it means you have gone too far. And really, it doesn't matter if it takes you a little bit longer, just make sure you have mastered those exercises and really feel good about them before taking the next step. And another very important point that I need to make is that the foundation of postpartum recovery is breath work. So we are going to work with our breath all the way throughout the series. As the exercises get more challenging, the breath work stays. And yes, it can get boring, but it is essential. So if you don't know how to properly perform a core breath, make sure to check out the step-by-step guide that I've made. I'll link it down below. But just as a quick recap, really inhale 360 degrees around your core, into your ribs, into your back, into your pelvic floor, and then on the exhale, we want to gently lift the pelvic floor, zip our core up, the navel comes up slightly, and we bring our ribs down and in. And again, we don't want to be holding tension and we don't want to be gripping down. So also make sure that you continue to have a nice posture, shoulders are open, chest is open, and our spine is in a neutral position. And the third point I want to make is to just take your time. There is no timeline to follow. Everybody moves at different speed. It's all going to depend on how you were before you got pregnant, how much you did, how much you exercised throughout the pregnancy, how your pregnancy developed, how your birth was. So really forget about the timeline. It could take you 4 months, it could take you 6 months, it could take you a year. It really doesn't matter. Another thing to note is that if you're breastfeeding, it can take your body a little bit longer to recover as the prolactin levels are quite high in the body, and hormonally we just don't go back to our pre-pregnancy state until we stop breastfeeding. So to summarize, make sure you're working progressively through the series, don't skip any steps, take your time, make sure you're mastering the breath work. We are really working from the inside out. We're starting with that inner core, the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, the transversus abdomen, and then working our way out. And by the end of it, you'll be able to perform any type of core exercise that you wish. And again, just take your time. And another quick side note, if you've had a C-section, you should do some scar work before starting with part 1. I will make a video for that as well and link it down below. So maybe it will take you a little bit longer before you can start with part 1. And again, it doesn't matter, we're going to forget about any timeline. But yeah, so just make sure you are mobilizing the scar and desensitizing it before we go and start activating all those muscles around the incision. And that's it. I hope it all makes sense. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below and let's get started with part 1. Alright everyone, this is part 7 of our postpartum recovery series. Today we're going to go through 4 exercises and I will show you a few progressions so that everybody can adjust based on where they're at. We're starting on our backs. And for this first exercise, you can use a TheraBand if you wish, or a towel. And we're going to continue working on that dead bug progression that we already started in part 6. So this time, we're flat on our back, and we're going to bring both knees up at 90 degrees. And the band, if you're using one, you can just hold it straight over your chest. And what you're going to do with the band is just simply pull apart as we perform the exercise. And for some people, this can really help with the core engagement and makes the exercise easier. So from here, we're gonna take a big inhale, and on the exhale, pull the bend apart, and we're gonna drop one leg, heel towards the mat, keeping that knee bent, and then switch sides. So big inhale, on the exhale, drop here. Make sure you keep that core engaged. We shouldn't be letting go through the spine, keeping a nice neutral spine, and our belly should stay engaged. Other side. And here we go. Okay, so that's the exercise. If you want to take it a step further, you can work from here with the inhale, and on the exhale, extend the leg out and bring it back in. So try it out, see where you're at. If you're doing 10 to 16 repetitions, you can also maybe do half of them with the leg extended and then go back to a bent leg once you feel like your core is giving up. Exactly, I've reached my limit now. I can tell I'm shaking a lot. So I'm gonna go back to this version. And break. Okay, that is the first exercise. Now we can set the bend aside, and we're gonna stay on our back. You can choose to have your legs bent or extended out. And we're going to start creating some motion instead of just resisting motion, which is primarily what we've been doing until now. And we're going to start with some crunches. So very simple. You can have your hands by your ears or behind your head or crossed over your chest or just flat out. And we are going to inhale. On the exhale, bringing the shoulders up until the shoulder blades are slightly off the mat, and come back down. So you may have to do quite a lot of repetitions here to really feel that rectus abdominis working. So a little bit higher rep count. You can also, if you wish, bring your feet up or your knees up, and as you crunch, as you exhale, bring one leg up. Great. So that was the second exercise, and now for our third, we're gonna flip on to an all-fours position. And here we are also progressing from an exercise that we did previously. I believe it was in part 5. So we are stacked, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And here we're gonna start with a big inhale. Spine is neutral, and on the exhale, lift the pelvic floor, bring the navel in and up. And then from here, we want to be able to lift the knees, keeping that tension in the core. So knees lift a few centimeters off the mat. And from this position, now we're going to lift one leg and then the other without swinging our hips side to side. I'm keeping that core engagement, but I'm able to breathe here. Okay, let's do about 10 reps. You can work between the 10 to 16 range. And release. I'm taking a little break. I'm going to do another set. Again, we want to keep that core engaged as we breathe, as we perform the exercise. And again, no swinging side to side. And you can adjust the reps based on what you can do. Maybe you have to stop at 6, maybe you can do 16. Just work with what you can. And here we go, one more set. Preparatory breath, big inhale, and exhale, lifting up the floor, lifting that navel, and here we go. Pushing the hands into the mat, it's gonna help me be stable. And here we go, one more per side, last one, and break. Very good, so that's our third exercise. And for our last one, we're gonna work with an isometric plank. So you have options here as well. You can stay on your hands and then work here, or you can get onto your elbows, fingers are spread, shoulders over the elbows, and then here you can work from your knees. That would be the easier version. Or we can lift up onto our feet and we work for 20 to 30 seconds. So I'm going to do one set now. Let's see how long we can hold. Here we go. Spine stays neutral. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Here we go, 10 more seconds to get to 30. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it. Thank you for sticking with me through the 7-part series. I hope that you can feel an improvement in your body. I hope that you're more aware and better able to engage the pelvic floor and those deep core muscles. And we're just gonna keep working from here. So if you want to continue progressing and if you want to do more workouts like this, just make sure to keep checking my YouTube page and also my website where I have all of my workouts for free. I will make sure to link that down below in the comments. And that's it. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you in the next one.